I just found the best specimen. Look at those bands.
That almost done it.
Okay. I was like, please let that be just not something creepy.
New flags, new flags. Check it out.
It goes in there quite a ways.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Elley Knows Rocks. Today I'm standing in front of the stone house at the McCracken Mine. This is a great area for rock hounding. It is full of really, really awesome fluorescent rocks. There's fluorite here, there's calcite laced rocks. There's some really cool things that have been slabbed that I've seen that people have found up here. So today I'm going to find them, and we're going to explore the history of the McCracken Mine that had a lifespan of over 90 years. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this adventure, and let's go see what we find.
Today we're starting out by flying to our destination. No, I'm just kidding actually. But we are flying over the destination so that I can figure out exactly how I'm going to film it. We took the plane and we flew over the area of the McCracken Mine just to get a layout of the land. And look at what they did! Can you believe that most all of this material came out of holes in the ground? This isn't an open pit area. These were adits and shafts that are littering the side of the hill. So I definitely wanted to go check this place out. Look at the holes that are punched in the wall, just one after another after another. It's insane. And we are definitely going to that place right there. That is the historic McCracken Mine stone house. And Dan's already been there. I haven't. So it is definitely necessary. But in order to get here, I have to trailer my side-by-side about 45 minutes to a dirt road before we can get started.
Oh, she's about to get filthy.
As you can see, we have a new upgraded side-by-side for those of you that haven't seen the pictures, and I got custom Elley Knows Rocks flags for our baby. Now, once we got on the dirt road, we had another 45 miles on the dirt road alone before we even got to an area close to the McCracken Mine. And then it was all four-wheeling from there.
This is like straight up. Wow.
This really was a whole lot steeper in person than it was in the camera, and you can see I was having way too much fun trying to actually capture this on film. I don't know that I did it justice, but it was still pretty cool to get up there. And I was way overly excited to see this beautiful cabin. And look at the view! You can see forever up here, and we're definitely going to climb inside that hole if we can.
Now the cabin wasn't here for the full lifespan of the mine. It was built a little bit later, but it has been here for the majority of the lifespan of the mine. We're about to enter the stone house. Check it out. Bunch of old, this looks like an old radio. Aw, hopefully someone's not breaking the stuff, but old garbage. People, well, at least there's a trash can for beer. Looks like people have put some rocks in here. Old nuts and bolts. Those beer bottles. Old medicine cabinet. Let's see, is there anything in there? Ooh. Just more stickers. Oh my gosh. Oh, and a spider. Dan has been in this once before. I've never been inside this cabin. Dan drove his motorcycle up here to check it out years ago. For the sake of us being up here, Dan and I usually, take a beverage with us. So this is fitting from Fort Peaks, Arizona. Cheers to everybody else. Tastes good. Watching. Yeah, there's an adit there, one up there, one there. I know that the main adit has been fenced in, but we're gonna definitely go check that out. But something that's pretty cool about this mine is it was actually discovered by McCracken and other owners in 1874. And it was primarily a silver and lead mine. Originally, this mine had a total of 10 claims all over the side of this hill. And they worked each and every one of those claims to the fullest of the abilities to extract the ore. And all of it was done underground. Now this thing right here is both a bat gate and a turtle gate. Do you know why I know it's a turtle gate? Because the bottom rung right here is low enough that turtles can get over it and high enough that they can still get through it. You betcha.
It goes in there quite a ways. There's even a breeze coming out of the mine. So that tells me this thing has some pretty good ventilation. It's really unfortunate that they put a giant gate up. I am not a fan of that.
Shiny things everywhere. Look at that. And they've got big ones. Got like fluorite crystals on it. All these bands. See, now Dan doesn't know it yet, but several of these will be going in the car home with us. Okay, all of these little outcrops around us, even if we turn around right now, you can see all the hand-stacked rocks that were made to build the road so that the road wouldn't fall out. That is pretty freaking cool. So there's all these small little areas like the one that we're going to where someone used to live. One of those 100 people, oh cool, that used to live here way long ago. This is so pretty.
I think the house I'm thinking of is up there.
Oh, I see what you mean. The stones, can we even get up there? There is fluorite all over the ground. And like quartz and stuff, it's everywhere. Just a small prospecting pit.
Yeah.
Yep. Wow. Oh, look. They did a pit here, pulled the stuff out, and then they did a vein and then followed it along here. Wow, come here. Look at the texture of the rock. All the pretty little veins and just the waves, the motion that it created. Like, oh, look at that. Oh, look, this one. I'm taking this home to cut it.
Okay.
That's cool. I want a bigger chunk of this though too. Man, oh man. Like it's loose, it really is. It is so cool, I have to have it. See? Look how sparkly that is. Beautiful, beautiful pieces with fluorite. And by the way, I got my big chunk of rock. Primitive tools. Smack one rock against another rock, you make other rocks. We may have a tire issue right now, so Dan is dealing with that. My rocks are safe in the back of the side-by-side, and I'm going this direction. Woo! We've got old tailings piles, or probably dump piles. I don't know that those are actual tails. And in case we didn't know the difference, tailing piles means that the rock has already been processed in some way, either crushed and leached or crushed and other minerals extracted, some form of processing. A dump pile simply means they broke it up in the shaft or the adit, they pulled it out of that area, and then they just left it in piles alone to do whatever they wanted to with it. Most of the time, a dump pile is just rock that is not going to be used. It's overburden, waste, or the ore in it is just not usable for them, or something that they wanted to process. Look at that. Wow. That's coming home. Oops. And I once again left the side-by-side without my rock hammer. Oh my gosh. I need a magnet. If there's anybody at home that would like to suggest a way for me to never forget my rock hammer, please let me know. Because otherwise, like, I've got backpacks, I've got things, I just always leave it. Look how pretty the rocks on the ground are. Now, I bent down specifically because I saw a really cool one. Oh, this right here. Look how neat that is. All these little shiny pieces everywhere. It's so pretty. Oh, check these out. Cool. You know what these are? If you do, comment this time section in the comments. And these are ventilation shafts. How neat. So these were probably an added or a wins. Of course, somebody has come in and created a back gate, filled them in very well, but you can see that they go very far in there. This is probably what is feeding all of those adits down below. How neat. And there's another one right around the corner, but first, oh my gosh. Look at that vein. Wow. Oh man, is there anywhere where I can just take a chunk of that stuff home? Look at this. Look at that vein. All of that material through there. That is beautiful. Holy crap. Again, rock hammer. Jeez, Ellie, come on, get with it. All right, let's go see that other ventilation area. Again, all gated in. They really made sure to gate all this stuff in. All right, we're walking over to, ooh, the wind is picking up today, this back gate area, because they went through a lot of trouble to put up a concrete square, huge reinforcement around what I assume is a shaft. They probably also put what is a foam lining where they'll take a big piece of canvas, they'll lay it over the top of the adit or the shaft. They fill it in with this expanding foam that gets extremely, extremely hard. It expands huge, and then they build something around it. They do this a lot in Virginia City in Nevada. So, wow, check that out. Oh wow, big ol', oh my gosh. I don't know if you can see it. There is a ladder. There is workings down in there. Oh my gosh. Well, after being here 100 years, this mine was worked for almost 100 years. Holy cow. We're dropping a rock in there, I'm sorry. Okay, that fell for over 4 seconds according to the clock on the camera. That's deep. That will do the math because I don't remember right off the top of my head, but that is so deep. Look at this, guys. I believe this is some purple fluorite. After we're done checking everything out up here and making sure Dan is making sure the side-by-side's okay, just found out our air pump died and the bead locks on the front driver's side tire was loose, so we're trying not to get a flat tire. Anyways, with finding the fluorite that I just found means there's more fluorite to be found. And I have heard that this mine has amazing fluorescent minerals. So I did bring my black light for sure. And there is said to be an open adit at the very lowest level when we're entering the mine property. So we're gonna check that out as we leave. But for right now, I don't know if we can get up higher. I don't know if Dan's gonna wanna leave. That's gonna suck. We're gonna go over there and just check it out while Dan's still working on the side-by-side. And I'm gonna still look for some of that fluorite and maybe some other minerals that we could check out underneath of the black light. Dan is also dropping rocks down the shaft. Very deep. Got some concrete pads right here. And with this giant shaft right here, this was probably part of either a hoist house or a gigantic head frame that has since been torn down. And all of this would have just been to assist getting any of the minerals and stuff out of there. Look, we even have one part of the old beams right here that wasn't buried in. Oh, check out those veins. Look at that. They lined the entire road.
The rock house is up there.
Holy crap. That's amazing though. This whole hillside is full of rock houses. At least the lower portion of the foundation, and you can see like all that area down there, rock walls. Wow, they really built this area up severely. Like this was where their people, their miners would have lived. Their wives, all the above, if they had them. That's so cool. And then there's even more rock walls for the roads up that way. An ore chute right there. Oops, right there. Now, the history of this mine goes back quite far. It wasn't until 1875 when they had their first production that started. It started out primarily as a silver lead mine. And then with smelting and other processes, they extracted other metals like gold, copper, zinc, and magnesium. By the late 1800s and early 1900s is when the Maccracken's mine population was at its highest, of about 100 people. The mine was in full production until 1960, where it was decided that the mine should shut down because of the declining price of silver, and most of the ore veins had been depleted. Although from the looks of it today, there's still a lot they could have done with this old mine. Dan is going to be launching the drone here in a second to take us up to that view.
The Maccracken Mine is by far one of the largest abandoned mines that I have been to in Arizona yet. But let's talk some serious geology. The main mineralization is a polymetallic vein deposit, and it's hosted in a diorite, mica, schist, and pegmatite. This is why we get those big crystals and those really beautiful swirling veins. There is reported to be two main ore bodies on the mine. There have been fault displacements that occur east and west. And the main geologic environment is a metamorphic complex of Precambrian age and intrusive igneous tertiary age. And there is very little alteration, which means there wasn't a lot of fluid that came in to alter the rock later on. Most of the alteration that has happened is very new or considered fresh. The workings of the mine are impressive, with the main shaft that we checked out having levels at 50, 100, 250, 400, and 600 feet deep on a 70% incline. That's why we couldn't hear our rock falling any further. The mining and geologic history of these mines is absolutely fascinating to me, and I can't wait to come back and explore more.
Look at how beautiful those are. All those minerals in there creating all those chevrons. This is a beautiful example of amazing metamorphic rocks mixed with volcanic. Guy right here is full of barite crystals all on top. Very, very awesome, distinct texture that you can see. And they go down. Dan made a very good point. He's like, hey, that looks like a desert rose. I was very impressed with Dan. It's too bad that wasn't on camera though. He does a good job. But all this here is right underneath of the ore chute. So we know that the rocks that were here were definitely part
of all of their ore minerals. Ooh, isn't that amazing? And I am sliding down the hill on a piece of wood. Look at that. Looks like we've got some metasulfide veins in there. How cool. All right, y'all, I just found the best specimen. Look at those bands with those crystals on top. Oh my gosh, this is the bestest random find. Oh, this is such a perfect specimen. Look at the banding. Oh, I'm enamored. This is beautiful. Look at those bands. Oh my gosh, Dan is going to be freaking out that I'm taking home so many rocks. It's okay though. He understands. I just gave him a big old smooch and he's good to go. Wow, I wonder how far it goes back in there. All right, we're about to go inside that lower adit down here. And Dan's gonna be using my trusty Olights. Grab it, Dan. And I'm gonna be using an Army Tech. I've never used it before, so we're gonna see. I haven't even got it out of the box yet. Should have just charged that I would be able to use it. We'll see. Awesome. There we go. Can't use my hat with a headlamp. It's never gonna work. Okay, we're ready. All right, guys, here we go. Dan, you got a light on?
Yeah.
I don't think it goes back in here too far. Oh, we're going anyways. We got Choy on the ground. Huh?
Great.
Just little bits. Just watch, which means maybe we'll see Ben. Oh, very interesting little rods up there. Look at the coloration of the rock that we can see in here. This is awesome so far. Okay, this is a field of choya. Oh my. You may want to stay out, Dan.
Why?
Well, the choya is everywhere. Yeah,
My shoes are not ideal for Choya.
that's what I figured. Oh, look, look, look. What is this? Is this an old bottle, a new bottle? Not to be refilled. That's all it says. It doesn't say what it is. But we can see some old wood, some more, ouch, old garbage. There's a lot of like blue oxides right here, some green, some calcite. In just a second, I'm going to turn off the black light. Actually, turn on the black light. I'm gonna turn off my flashlight. Holy crap. Oh my gosh, Dan, it is so bright. Wow, look at that fluoresce, guys. Oh, wow. Does it do it over here? No. That, I would love to have a chunk of this. Let's turn the light back on. What does it? You can't see it with the... Oh, wow. That is crazy insane. Wow. Lots of calcite in there. All right, let me just go a little further and see what I can see. Okay, this whole like crap on the ground with the choy is not fun. But there's a piece of wood up front, Dan. Yeah. And, oh, wow. This is a double level. There's a winds right there. Right in that area. Yeah, I think it does just stop right here. And this is just a board. Bummer. Well, at least we came back in here to see it. Okay. And I braved through Choy cactus that I'm gonna have to pull out of my shoes when I get back. Dan found an amazing batch of crystals. Now move the light real quick. See how they're really pretty and green? Oh, wow. And the spiders were freaking Dan out. Those are cute. But look, there's green crystals there. Right here. Right in this entire vein and up in there. And check out what they do with the black light. Dan, go for it. Look how they fluoresce. Isn't that amazing? Those are probably all fluorite. I'm gonna snag some and take them outside. Oh, a piece just fell out. It is fragile. Like, ooh, like really fragile. Boy, that sounds encouraging. Not very. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Ooh. Oops. Oh, this one is, it's almost out, I promise. Don't try this at home. All right? Almost. Like if you saw what I was digging at, you'd see what I mean. Was that your stomach?
No.
Okay, yeah, it's freaky. You sure?
Mm-hmm. You drop it?
Yep, totally dropped it. Look at all this, guys. Look at that. So this is fluorite. And you can see some of the little guys that are shaped right here on the rock. Big pieces that I got out. I kept going for more, and it all fluoresces in different colors. Look at those little nodules, little bumps right there. Look how neat those are. That's gonna make a great jar of sand when we get home. We have this little piece right here, and I have my bottle of HCl, and I have hydrogen peroxide also. But just to confirm that this isn't calcite and that it's fluorite, there is no effervescing. If this was calcite, it would go crazy and there'd be tons of white bubbles, so this is definitely fluorite.
One last stop before we leave on this adventure today is the old mill site, and there's reported to be 3 on this property.
So it's really cool that this mill area, mill site, actually still has steps. They have a couple of them right here, but most of the time they're all torn down, so they're not intact anymore. But, like, and they're so old too, that's so neat. I don't know what that door was for, but it's neat that it's like got still the hinges. Doesn't it kind of look like part, like that looks like part of a trommel almost. And that looks like something that it would have gone into. No? Maybe? And here's another one. It's kind of the same situation. I wonder if that's what they were doing with it, but lead, silver, you wouldn't really do that. Not necessarily. Huh? Oh yeah, lead's heavy, but you know. Look how neat that is though, that hole. Usually these are all filled in. And you can see like, this was a classifier right here, a splitter. You can see the different areas. They still got an old ore chute. That little rock area, I wonder if that was part of this too, or maybe that's where they landed to dump ore in, because it all would have been gravity fed. That was the easiest way to do it. And this is tailings. Remember I was talking about the difference between dump and tails? But this is definitely been crushed and processed. Ooh. I wonder if that's fluorite or zeolite. It's really pretty though. It's gonna be hard to see in camera, but
Very purple.
almost looks like amethyst though with the little lines. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this short little adventure. We're definitely coming back to this mine. There is so much to explore and definitely not enough time to do it in just one day. Plus, you could tell there's a lot of hiking that we're gonna have to do in order to see some of the really cool locations. So we'll definitely be back. But thank you so much once again. I hope you learned something. I hope you had a great time, and I'll see you on the next one. I can't believe I tore my pants, look.
Yep, that's that.
I need new pants now. Wanna buy me new pants? Really?
Sure.
See, this means Dan doesn't want me walking around naked. That's basically what that means.
Pants.
Huh?
I'm not buying any pants.